For hundreds of hours, the terminal has stood here waiting, patiently. Watching this world grow, piece by piece. Factories have risen from the empty land. Production lines now stretch across valleys. Entire districts have begun to form. And yet, for all of that progress, the terminal has remained strangely quiet. Because there is still one thing this world has never truly had: movement. A way for everything we have built to connect. And today, the terminal finally comes to life. So sit back, grab a drink. This is Satisfactory. When I originally built the terminal, I left the fake garage door underneath the structure. The idea was simple. One day that space would become a truck depot, a small logistics hub tucked neatly under the terminal. But when I finally removed the door and opened up the space properly, it only took a few seconds to realise. The plan wasn't going to work. There just wasn't enough room under the terminal, which kinda ruins the idea of putting a truck depot there. So, instead of forcing the depot inside the terminal, I started looking around the outside. Just outside the garage door, there is a small pocket of land sitting between the cliffs. Easy to miss at first, but the moment you notice it, it feels perfect. Close enough to the terminal to feel connected, but low enough that it never competes with its scale. Because the terminal is meant to feel almost monumental, and the depot should feel like a supporting structure. Something that has always belonged to the terminal, rather than competing with it. Once you start looking a little closer, the landscape begins to reveal its own ideas. Right in the middle of the space sits a single rock. And almost immediately, it becomes the centre of the design. Instead of paving over it, the road will simply wrap around it, creating a natural one-way system as trucks enter and leave the depot. Sometimes the best layouts are not planned at all. They are already there, waiting to be noticed. The first foundations establish the depot itself. Compact, low profile, carefully positioned so it sits naturally beneath the terminal, rather than competing with it. But the real architectural feature of this build is not the depot floor, it's what sits above it. One of the defining elements of the terminal is its enormous canopy. That sweeping structure gives the entire building its identity. So in designing the depot, it felt important to echo that same idea here as well. A smaller canopy stretches out across the truck station, and suddenly the connection becomes obvious. A small nod to the terminal above, not nearly as large, but clearly part of the same architectural language, like it was always meant to be here. With the depot in place, the final piece becomes the road leading into it. Rather than cutting straight across the landscape, the road follows the natural curve of the coastline. Sections suspended along the rocks, soft lighting guiding the path along the water, turning what could have been a simple access road into something far more atmospheric. A quiet approach into the terminal. And just like that, the terminal finally has its first connection to the outside world. A small depot tucked between the rocks. A road quietly tracing the coastline. And a canopy that now ties the whole structure together. It's a small addition, but it changes something important. Because the terminal is no longer just architecture sitting in the landscape. Now it is part of the system, part of the world it helps shape. Factories will connect, roads will stretch further, and the infrastructure of this world will slowly weave itself together. Before we finish though, I just want to say a genuine thank you. The support recently has honestly been incredible. New subscribers arriving here every day. All your amazing and kind comments. And people sharing their own builds and ideas. And of course, the Patreon members. Supporting the series behind the scenes. Every bit of that support helps push this project further. It allows me to spend more time refining the cinematics, improving the storytelling, and continuing to turn this world into something really special. This channel has slowly been evolving into something more than just building factories. It is becoming a place to tell stories through architecture. And that is exactly the direction I want to keep pushing. So, this year the goal is simple. Keep building, keep improving. And if everything goes well, maybe even reach 20,000 subscribers along the way. Ambitious perhaps, but after the last few months, it feels possible. If you enjoyed this episode, consider subscribing and joining me along for the journey. And if you are interested in the design ideas behind builds like this, the Satisfactory Design School series dives deeper into the architectural thinking behind everything on this channel. But for now, I really can't wait to see you in the next episode. Ginge out.